Welcome, everybody. It is time for Three Guys Before the Game. And the crew is formally assembled. The dean is here. He'll have obvious observations coming up. Senator is in, as normal, quiet, a little bit subdued, focused in before we start recording. Doesn't talk a whole lot. However, he did bring a smile to his face because Hoppy brought in Tudor's biscuits, which have been consumed. Here we go. It's our Wake Forest. No, it's not. It's our Ohio State. I just one off there.
And Little Rock review.
And Little Rock. And
Little Rock review, Ohio State preview. You knew what we were going to talk about. Three Guys brought to us by GoMart. Get a GoMart rewards card. Go to GoMart.com for details. Is Marty in the building when you walk in, the spin thing, Marty's spin? Or is he there sometime?
I've not seen him when I've been in there.
Three Guys brought to us by Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. They sell family fun. They also sell the new Honda McLaren racing motor. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. By the aforementioned Tudor's Biscuit World. Start your day the homemade way with a Tudor's Biscuit. We did. By Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. By Jan Dills, attorneys at law, they won't take no for an answer. And by Conley CPA Group, providing value beyond numbers. All right, let's jump on in. Since the last time we were together, the Mountaineers scored another basketball victory. It was over Little Rock, formerly known as right now, a bit of a depleted roster. Only dressed 9 young men for the contest. And West Virginia had its way. Honor Huff did his thing. He had 8 threes. They kept him out there for just a smidge, basically one possession.
We had one more possession to try and get him the 9.
And they just couldn't get him a good look. 9 would have tied the all-time school record. I did some research.
Okay.
I did some research on this. And probably should not reveal it because I'm going to use it for one of the trivia questions on Ross's show tonight.
Well,
and you know how those people are.
You need to save it.
All I'm going to say this. I'm going to say, well, I can say this without ruining the question.
Well, the show's not live, so I mean.
No, but people listen. Because by the time we get to the show tonight at Kegler's,
oh, really?
They're all up in press coverage going, you said this on the show today. You said this. I was like, whoa.
Okay.
Right? I mean, let me just run a little hitch here. Just step back a little bit.
Somebody needs to set a screen for you.
Yeah. So Honor Huff has already done something that's never been done in the history of West Virginia basketball.
Yes.
Made 8 twice.
Yes.
Twice, yeah.
No one else ever made 8 twice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ruoff had the 9, but Ruoff never had an 8.
Well, he had an 8.
He had once.
Leading to the 9.
Yeah, he had 8, but he didn't have 9.
So what? This is my obvious observation, but it's relevant now.
It's too early then.
No. Will Honor Huff at some point catch Ruoff? Will Honor Huff this season at some point hit 9?
Oh.
Boy, he's had 2 runs at it in 11 games. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah. So
it's just that I think
yes
the
or no?
challenge becomes now, how does anybody possibly leave him open enough to get off
that's true.
that many shots?
Not in the league.
Is that league's going to look at that and go, what? No, somebody else better figure this out.
It'd be a wrestling,
they'll face guard him. They'll put 3 on. I don't know how he'll ever get the chance.
Knock him to the
He's
ground.
just been lighting it up continuously. How you allow him to get free moving forward? I don't know why you would do that as an opposing team.
It'll be like they'll put like a defensive back on him or a safety.
Well, that's what. If you go back to the Charleston, South Carolina, I mean, that's what was starting to happen. Little Rock just didn't have the capability to do that, but the physicality of him trying to get through the lane and off picks, that's something that those officials are going to have to keep an eye on because he's getting some shots taken at him.
If you were to do it from an odds standpoint, the best odds he'll have to do it is one more chance against Mississippi Valley State a week from Monday. That'll be his best chance. Because other than that, people are going to stand on top of his shoes for the rest of the season. Right?
But as we've seen, dude doesn't need a lot of shots to get to that number.
Or
he's 16, so he's 16 of 20 from 3 in those 2 games where he's come within 1 of breaking the record. Think about that. 16 of 20. You can't shoot layups at that clip.
No, I agree.
16 of 20 in those 2 runs.
By the way, he does not need to be just on the 3-point line.
Oh, he had a hell of a heat check against Little Rock.
He can be basically the half court's available to him.
No, that's not even a joke. He steps across half. I mean, he hit that one that was 5 feet inside a half court already this year.
He tried one from 5 feet past half court the other night. Just and I had no problem with it. What the heck? Just let her fly and hit the rim.
I got no problem. He shoots it wherever he wants it.
He's fun.
Yeah.
He's a fun dude.
And then you have Trayson Eaglestaff. He corked down 5, and we just kind of shrug our shoulders with a 5. A 5 is, I mean, again, the entire perspective of three-point makes has changed. I mean, when in the past, if someone hit 4, you go, oh, hit 4. Now we go like, yeah, Eaglestaff had 5.
Well,
Honor had 8 again.
Because the game has changed, too. Right? It used to be like, oh, my gosh, a guy hit a 3. And now it's just everybody's lightening up from 3.
But those guys, like Trey just has happened to, and these things are correlated. This isn't coincidence. But Trey's 2 best shooting performances, one came in the close scrimmage against Maryland when he hit 6. Well, why did he have 6? Well, Honor had 10. So it left a second shooter. You couldn't match up with both of them. What happened the other night? Honor gets 8. What happened to Trey? He got a ton of open looks too. Those 2 things are interrelated.
Yes.
And that's why we keep talking about moving forward. When those guys find their groove, okay, you want to take Honor out? Well, then if Trey is left open and he can continue to make shots, then that opens the driving lanes for Chance. That stuff all works together.
Think about this. Off the top of my head, 7 players have hit 8 or more shots, 8 or more threes in a game. It's happened 3 times in the last 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Tucker DeVries, right?
Down the Bahamas.
Down the Bahamas had an 8, and Honors has done it twice. Yeah. So that was Little Rock. We'll get into that. We'll get some of the spreads on stats coming up. Also, we'll preview Ohio State. They're going to be coming off a loss to Illinois. Man, they score it. Ohio State scores it. Got one of the leading scorers in the nation in Bruce Thornton. Who's at 21 per contest, and then he's got 4 other mates, 3 other mates, 4 other mates, 3 other mates probably, that are averaging over 13 points per game, almost 14 points per game. So they score, as they say, basketball, new phrase, they score the ball. It's come into vogue within the last 6 or 7 years. They score the ball.
Yeah, good contrast in styles in that one coming up.
Yeah.
West Virginia's defense against their offense.
So that, observations, Textual Healing has situation, repercussion from our last episode. I think that's a fair way to say it. There was had a situation where we called out the security guard at the Coliseum. You remember that, Hoppy?
We didn't call out the security guard. We absolutely did not call out the security guard. There was no we calling out the security guard.
Well, I may have brought Doug's name out, the security guy over at the Coliseum.
That's right.
Doug had some words for us. Had some words for me.
Well, he had words for us until I said stand down.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, really?
I'm the one that defended you. This one threw you under the bus. Yeah, I wasn't taking that hit. I didn't do it. He did it.
Good for you.
He did it.
And this will come back to involve you, too.
How did this involve me?
I'll tell you how it's going to involve you. We'll get into that a little bit later on. Now's the season to go into a Go-Mart, walk in. They're going to have a display up there. It's going to have a QR code on there. You hit that QR code, and you get to spin to win. It's Marty Spins, and it lasts until the 19th, so just a little bit more than a week from now as we record. And you could do Marty's Merry Spin. What do you win? Well, big candies there. They'll help. They'll give you sweet treats, awesome prizes, rewards points, and they got a few couple options out there, including a $1,000 Go-Mart gift card, $500 shopping spree, $500 charity donation, 5,000 bonus reward points. So go in, get that app on your phone, hit the QR code when you walk in, spin, have a big time. Are you going to do that?
Probably should do that.
Triple rewards points.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Saturday, and then you should might as well go in there. Once again, special thanks to Tudor's Biscuit World. They're ready for you this holiday season. Catering events. Last week at the high school football championships, our broadcast crew was treated by the Tudor's catering package. They had a bunch of biscuits and a bunch of other stuff. If you've got friends, family, and need to do a quick breakfast, that was the actual shot of all the biscuits wrapped up.
You are looking live.
The other day, and they got their own box there. So you just call ahead, say what you want, a little fruit, some biscuits, other kind of like sweet stuff. Go to Tudor's Biscuit World. Start your day the homemade way.
Which we did today.
With a Tudor's biscuit.
You had Mary B's.
Thanks to Kirchville.
Mary B's this morning.
It was very good. Thank you.
Is that what that was?
You're welcome.
Mary B's.
Yeah, very nice lady there at the drive-through window.
Wow.
The lady was not Mary B. The sandwich was in Mary B.
Sandwich was.
All right. You ready to?
I like because I think it puts you guys in a good mood to get a biscuit.
It helps.
I like that.
Yeah, food's good. Food is an unbelievable game changer. Yeah. You ready to tell us some stuff? Obviously.
He's got thoughts that sound brand new.
Yep.
But they're things we already knew.
There he is. I noticed yesterday when I watched the show back. See the bottom tag on that? Not a real captain.
Thank goodness that disclaimer's on there.
Yes.
Would have never known.
Yeah, baby.
Do not want stolen valor. Obvious
Not a real
observations.
captain.
The Little Rock game, fun, entertaining. It's nice when everything goes well. Opponent adjusted, Brad, but it was a relief. A lot of gaudy numbers you'll probably get into. Huff, Eagle staff, we talked about. The shooting percentage, a lot of players into the act. Ton of three-point shots. Brad, here's the number that stood out to me in that, and there's a lot of numbers. 22 assists. 22 assists, right? And Coach Hodge said, I thought they were on the receiving end of really unselfish play to the point where I think they overpassed a couple of times. So really move the ball around. I know you'll have something on that.
There was one time on Trey.
Yeah.
Trey he'd hit a couple already. He had a right wing three that was wide open that was passed, and he passed it up to kick it. And I gave it. I gave it on the score sheet. I'm like, shoot that! And then he made one pass, an extra pass, and it ended up in a three. And it was a great decision to make the extra pass. But yeah, to Ross's point, they were distributing the ball extremely well.
Yeah. Coach Howe.
Coach Howe.
Well, Coach Howe was wrong. Trayson was right. It was a good decision.
And Honor said after the game about all the threes, more importantly, it opens, and Brad, you touched on this already, it opens up more of our offense for everybody else. That is a key going forward, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Upcoming Ohio State game. I actually, by accident, watched the Ohio State-Illinois game.
How did that accidentally happen?
Flipping around and saw it?
I don't know. I accidentally found it and I watched it. And that was a good game. It was at Ohio State. It was Illinois is very, very good. Buckeyes came up short 88-80. And Brad, I know you'll break down the Buckeyes. But Tony, you mentioned him. Watch out for number 2, Bruce Thornton, right?
He's a player.
The guard scored 34 points, Brad, had 6 rebounds, 6 assists. The first half, he was on fire.
24 points, 6 threes in the first half.
9 of 10 from the field in the first half. Until Brad Underwood said, listen, guys, guard, put somebody on him.
Yeah.
Guard him.
What's really interesting
We've played him before. Played him last time up there. He had 11 against West Virginia.
What's interesting is they've already played 2 league games. They played at Northwestern last weekend. They played Illinois at home. And so all of a sudden you jam a non-league game in here. Yeah.
Well, I hope they foul us as much as they foul Illinois.
Excuse me?
Gosh.
Illinois made 29 free throws, 29 of 32 from the line.
Superstar Watch. On February 28th, BYU is going to be coming to Hope Coliseum. And that will be the one and only time the Mountaineer fans will get to see in a college uniform 18-year-old A.J. DeBonsa. He is he's a dude. In fact, Homeless was at Madison Square Garden.
Homeless was there, yeah.
Watching the game. He was so excited he was texting about DeBonsa.
Live texting during the game.
Live texting. And
why are you laughing?
Go ahead.
What are you laughing about?
Nothing.
The way he's saying DeBonsa?
No, that's right. He's right.
Yeah. What were you laughing about? What are you giggling about?
Go ahead, Hop.
Okay. Well, and BYU was down 21 in that game, came back in the second half. DeBonsa had 22 second-half points, and they beat Clemson 67-64. And Robert Wright, who we know from
Well, you saw him play in person
the
last year in
Baylor
Waco.
days, Robert Wright III, hit a 3 at the buzzer. But DeBonsa he's a dude, man. He's an NBA guy playing in a college game right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
You know how things kind of even out in sports? That's a Clemson loss they should never have.
Oh, yeah.
West Virginia should have not lost to Clemson. They should not have lost to BYU. They had a 22-0 run in that game and got beat. 22-0. You don't see that very often. evanmia.com charts those as kill shots. 10+ 0 runs or more. How many do you have in a game? You get one of those and usually win 71% of the time. They had a 22-0 run.
Yeah.
DeBonce is going to be in Madison Square Garden future times with a pro team.
How about that one dunk he had?
Oh, I don't see how he got to the rim. He started, it looks like Jordan, he started just inside the foul line and dunked the ball.
He's got all the pro moves.
I was just excited Hoppy's finally found A.J. DeBonce.
Well, it's obvious. Obvious observation. I'm not going to be
that's
deep
what they
into
call
it
obvious
until...
observation.
That's true.
We saw him last year when he was on his quote-unquote official recruiting visit to BYU. He was there that night.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was it was a circus show. Yeah. He's got every NBA move.
Yeah.
He's got that really unbelievable turnaround fadeaway jumper, just does unbelievable body control.
Reportedly getting paid more than most NBA guys, too.
And he's 18.
Yeah.
He'll be 19. I think he turns 19 in January when he gets here. But, I mean, February 28th, mark it on your calendar. Come see an NBA guy and see what West Virginia does with him, right?
Well, you'll see a few come through this year. You know Thornton, who they're going to see on Saturday night. He's a late first-round, early second-round pick.
Yeah. Boy, this league's tough. I mean, there's guys. This, courtesy of the research, I did some research on this, by meaning that I talked to Ben Lowman about this.
Well, you have to identify Ben Lowman. People just don't know who Ben Lowman is. You just can't say Ben Lowman. He's not like you're saying Ben Affleck. I mean, it's Ben Lowman.
Ben Lowman is Dan Lowman's son. Dan Lowman works with us as a TV producer, but Ben Lowman is a WVU student, soccer player, but he's
not a soccer player.
Well, he was in high school.
Let me help you.
All right.
Ben Lowman is the director of operations for the WVU men's soccer team. Go ahead.
So he did the research for me. Anyway, the Major League Soccer draft is coming up December 18th. So I was interested. So what happens with Marcus Caldera?
Yeah. Who's already been drafted.
Was drafted by Minnesota
right.
a couple years ago. And I thought, well, is he still in the draft? What happened? So Lowman talked to Caldera himself. And Caldera is he's committed to Minnesota has until the end of the month to sign him. Or Caldera becomes a free agent.
To the end of this month?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are you smiling about?
Because he's laughing like hell. I'm just going to try to ag him out.
So we see, and apparently Caldera doesn't know. He hasn't been in touch with Minnesota, so he doesn't know if Minnesota is going to sign him or whether he becomes a free agent. So we got to keep an eye on that. But he is not subject to the 18th draft. But who is subject to the 18th draft is Pablo Pazos. Pazos?
Sure.
Pazos, who is right behind Caldera in scoring and assists. And he's expected to go in the first round on December 18th to Orlando City, South Carolina. Major League Soccer. So you have probable first rounder and a guy who would be a first rounder if he was eligible for the draft, but he'll be somewhere in the pros next year.
I like how you're branching off on obvious observations. You're just not doing
I get interested.
Well, he helped hire Stratford, so it's not a surprise that he follows soccer.
I get interested
he's
in these
tied,
things.
much like ADs are tied to hire. He's tied to the hire, Dan Stratford. So Strats is doing great, pumping out pros. So Hoppy's trying to make sure he's reiterates that tie to Stratford.
Correct. You know what's interesting, Hoppy, and you may have checked it. Like on the roster, on the WVU Sports roster, like they have pronunciations.
Oh, I should have checked
of
that.
Players. Well, like here's
Shelly Ekvist.
Yeah, right. You got
Tristan Pustahegi.
Yeah, but you know what?
They got one for Pazos?
They don't have one for Pazos. So basically, it's got to be Pazos because it's so simple to them. They go like, we don't have to give you a pronouncer on Pazos. It's P-O-Z-O-S. Pazos.
By the way, this is another side. I met him at
Excuse me? Where, in the Sahara?
No. When we did the thing at the football stadium for United Way.
Yeah.
And some of the athletes were there.
Okay.
And he had a soccer jersey on that said Rwanda.
Oh.
And I went up to him. I said, are you from, I've been to Rwanda. So I was trying to establish something. He says, no, I'm from Spain. And he is from Spain.
Yeah, so. He doesn't deny that.
So that's all I got.
Good. Good work.
Well, you say that. You're chortling at all my observations.
No, I mean, it's entertaining.
Brad busted me because I just discovered the BYU player who everybody knows about.
Comes in amazed at Devonsa. He is good.
Well, that was something we already knew.
Already knew about Devonsa.
Obvious thoughts from Hoppy's point of view.
Obvious about Devonsa.
This segment has been brought to us by Blistex.
Hey, Brad, let me tell you about this player. His name's Cooper Flagg. I think he's going to be really good.
Well, in all seriousness, I'm just glad Hoppy's on basketball prior to the calendar changing. Usually he won't engage until January.
True.
So I'm not taunting you because you are in a month earlier than what you normally do. Normally you won't engage with me when we're over doing those 400 hours of bowl games. I'd like to talk basketball a little bit. You won't deal. You're on early, so I do appreciate that you've come around early.
You're welcome.
Right?
I'm trying to be. So I'm trying to be engaged.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
are. I mean, hell,
a lot of credit to that.
You watched Illinois the other day and Ohio State. I mean, think about it. You come in with Devonsa. I mean, you're bringing us soccer information.
You haven't watched a non-conference basketball game in years, let alone a non-conference game not involving West Virginia. So you do get a lot of credit for coming on board with that.
And you know what?
You almost texted me and said,
I
"Are you
almost
watching?"
texted you and said, "I'm watching Illinois."
I'll give you credit for that.
Yeah.
I give him credit for that.
WV women in action. We're recording Thursday. They're in action tonight. Have Georgia Tech. Ooh. And then Sunday afternoon play the Aggies of Texas A&M in College Station. So you got a couple
of road tests.
Yeah, got a couple of good tests coming up for Mark Kellogg's team. Boy, the other night. Was that Texas State?
How do you score 109? You got to score like every time.
The other team was charitable.
Lined up.
Had some turnover situations there. Yeah, that one got away from the Texas Staters. That one got away. Yeah, so good.
But 109. I mean, it's
really super hard. Threes, ding it pretty good.
Yeah, but still, that's a lot of points. There's NBA games that don't score that much.
Yeah. Three Guys Before the Game is brought to us by Comax Business Systems. They have tremendous opportunities for you if you need a new business phone system. Nowadays, they do everything except brush your teeth. They really do. I mean, you name it. You got people out in the field, either through your cell, through remote, through forwarding. It's a fantastic system that they provide to you. So if it's that time for a new phone system, visit the award-winning folks at Comax Business Systems. They're at comaxwv.com. That's comaxwv.com. And the folks over at Lou Wendell Marine Sales, they're still high-fiving each other. Like if you go in there at any time of the day right now, they're high-fiving each other because
that Honda thing.
They're the only Honda Marine premium dealership in the state of West Virginia. The only one. It's Lou Wendell Marine Sales. And they'd love to talk to you about the new Honda McLaren racing motor. It's got gazillions, I think a gazillion horsepower.
Give or take.
Give or take a few, but it's about a gazillion horsepower. So they're the only Honda Marine premium dealership in the state. Take a look. Plus, obviously, those Avalon pontoon boats. They are the premier pontoon boat dealer in our state. They've been at it for over 40 years, located in St. Albans, but you can visit them on their website at LouWendellMarineSales.com. And even though the snow is coming, that means now is a great opportunity that they may be doing a little bit of wheeling and a little bit of dealing. Check it out. Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Nice to have them with us here on Three Guys Before the Game. You ready to do your thing, Bradley?
Yes, sir.
Good numbers?
I got a lot of numbers, I'll tell you that, so dig in.
Oh, really? So you went off on this one, huh? Okay.
We're going to do some Little Rock. We're going to do some Ohio State. I'm just going to give a general observation that I found interesting. You may or may not.
All right, let's go. Three Guys Before the Game Spreads on Stats is sponsored by Conley CPA Group. They provide value beyond numbers. World-class accounting firm, yes, but they offer so much more in guiding you. They can come in and do remote accounting for you so you don't have to deal with all of that stuff. And also, they can provide CFO services as well. So if you're a business owner and you don't want to deal with the minutia and the numbers and all that kind of stuff, then visit Conley CPA Group. Clients all across the state of West Virginia and outside of our state's borders. All right, jump in. What do we got?
So we talked already, excuse me, about the elite shooting between Honor and Trayson. This came from our from the MSN show. David Kahn brought this stat. I thought this was pretty interesting. Last time West Virginia's made 15 threes and shot at least 50% from three, you have to go back to November 18th, 2018.
Wow.
7
Before
years.
you've had a game like that the other night, the shooting percentages. That's really good. And again, you get elite shooters open. And here's the buzzword of the day.
Okay.
Because I'm about to say the word unguarded 100 times in the next 5 or 6 minutes, so bear with me. Here's some numbers. The other night against Little Rock, West Virginia got 27 points from unguarded catch-and-shoot jumpers. Tony, we thought there was a lot of open looks the other night. There was. That's the most this season. Previous high was 18. Had 20 unguarded catch-and-shoot jumpers in the game. 20 open shots, only 5 guarded. So you talked about the passing, Hoppy.
Yes.
Little Rock had a tough time finding where West Virginia was on the floor. That's an ungodly number. Previous high was 14 unguarded against Coppin State. Not a coincidence that the previous high for threes made was against Coppin State. We talked on Monday's show about Honor not getting a single unguarded catch-and-shoot look versus Wake. Versus Little Rock, he had 7 of those. Only 1 of his catch-and-shoots were classified as guarded. Wow. So you talk about losing the best shooter in the building. Little Rock did. It's only the 3rd time all season where Honor has had more than 1 unguarded catch-and-shoot jumper in a game. Only 3rd time in 11 games. Think about that. Yeah. The guy's leading the nation in made threes, and he's averaging less than 2 clean catch-and-shoot jumpers per game. So that might be more remarkable than the fact that he's leading the country in made threes. Mm-hmm. He is making these while being guarded, as the system classifies it. Trey Eaglestaff, 6 of his 9 catch-and-shoots were unguarded. That's twice as many as he's had in a previous game. So you give really good shooters open looks, they're generally going to do what? Bang down shots. And West Virginia did.
Was Little Rock there? Did they have,
they're just so decimated.
Yeah.
Heck, that one family gets hurt, and a third of their roster went down. The Robinson family, 3 players on that team were hurt. 2 of their best players.
3 Robinsons.
3 dudes, 1 family.
All
out.
gone.
That's a tough break.
That's tough.
For former NBA player Darryl Walker.
Yes.
You mentioned the assist rate, 67% assist rate, assisted on 67% of the baskets. So on 2/3 of the shots West Virginia made, there was an assist. That's a season high. Now that makes some sense. You make that many shots, threes usually come off a pass. Those are going to lead to some easy assists. But I made the note here, Tony, to ask this question. How many times during the broadcast did we say great extra pass right there by West Virginia? A bunch. So, Hoppy, you alluded to that earlier. Both point guards were really solid in this game. Jasper and Amir, for the 2nd time this year, combined for 12 assists. They each had 6, 12 assists, 4 turnovers. So we've said this before, a 3-to-1 ratio out of your point guards will win you a bunch of games. I thought the most impressive part of the passing was it was back to being really good out of the post. And that was where West Virginia early on got it down into Harlan or Belo down in the post and then could swing it back across the field or across the court to get some open looks. And I thought that was back. There was one when Harlan just was strong with it and stepped through a double team. I mean, literally through the double team and found Honor for a right wing 3. We didn't see that much against Wake Forest, Hop, and it's sometimes as simple as that. And again, I know it is opponent adjusted, Wake versus Little Rock, all due respect to the Trojans. But Wake, when they were blitzing on that double team, West Virginia not only couldn't get it out with good passes, but they were turning it over inside as well. The other night they just didn't. They passed out of that, and it ended up into some great shots. Let me walk through something here before we get to Ohio State. And Hoppy, you'll find some interest in this. Tony, you might have heard a little bit of this the other night. We talked about this before the game. But I wanted to get into the 3-point variance that comes. And sometimes it isn't so much about your defense as it is the other team just sometimes misses shots. And we talk a lot about unguarded and guarded shots. And West Virginia the other night made their unguarded shots. Well, that doesn't always happen at this level. A lot of times teams will miss.
Oh, I know where you're going here.
And I just, this is going to be a lot of numbers, so I apologize. If you don't like numbers, you don't like stats, you probably turned this segment off already, but this is going to be heavy numbers, but it gets to a point here at the end. So follow me. I think you'll find this of interest.
All right.
Because you like logical discussions.
Yes.
This will be a logical discussion backed by some data.
Okay.
He said, stay tuned for the end. It's a hell of a close.
I'm ready.
So West Virginia right now is 5th nationally in 2-point field goal percentage defense.
5th.
For their opponents. Okay?
All right.
So 5th nationally.
2-point shots.
Teams are shooting right around that 40% range from 2-point range, okay? But they're 276th, West Virginia is 276th in 3-point field goal percentage defense. Man, those things don't jive, do they? You're top 5 in the nation from inside the arc and bottom 100 teams in 3-point percentage. Well, I thought, well, why? Can I dive into that here? Can I find an answer to that? Here's what I uncovered.
All right. Uncovered.
Investigative report.
Yes.
So we know that Xavier, a couple games ago, made an opponent all-time record against West Virginia and made threes. They made 16 of them, which was unbelievable. But maybe more unbelievable was they did that in just 25 attempts. Only 4 of those 25 attempts were charted as unguarded. So West Virginia was guarding most, unlike Little Rock the other night, those threes by Xavier weren't just guys sitting out there with shooting practice. They were guarded or contested
21
shots.
out of 25 were guarded.
They had 4 unguarded.
Okay.
Xavier scored 12 points on those unguarded shots. They got 4. They got 12 points. So they made a 3 on every one of them. 100% of their unguarded shots, they scored a 3. That's pretty hard to do. So I thought, okay, that's one game. That happens sometimes. So I went into Wake Forest. Juke Harris had a pretty good game.
Yeah.
17 total field goal attempts, 12 3-point attempts. Only 4 of his shots were classified as unguarded.
Made all 4.
So for the most part, Juke Harris was guarded. He scored 12 points on those shots. So that's two occasions where we've seen unbelievable from a team, unbelievable from a player. They made every open shot that they got. They didn't get many. They made every one. So I thought, well, that seems
rather
odd. So I kept going.
Oh, you went to Clemson, didn't you?
West Virginia is last nationally, dead last in the country, in opponents' points per possession on unguarded catch-and-shoot jumpers. Dead last.
People are stroking it.
Teams are averaging 1.6 points per possession on those unguarded shots. So nearly, and not a 3, they're not 100% from 3, but almost 2 points every time they get an unguarded look. Dead last in the country. But if you then look at how many unguarded shots are given up per game, West Virginia is 12th nationally in fewest given up.
Oh.
They're a top 15 team in fewest open shots and dead last in points per possession on those shots. Opponents are shooting 54% against West Virginia on unguarded catch and shoots. Okay, Hop, you probably say, well, I know enough to know that's pretty good from 3. You shoot 54% from 3, that's pretty good. But let's put it in some context. The next closest in the Big 12, Colorado's opponents are shooting 49% from 3 on open, unguarded shots. I'm going to say it a different way. It's maybe more impactful. Of the 16 teams in the Big 12, there is only one that has opponents shooting better than 50% from 3 on unguarded catch and shoots. That one team?
West Virginia.
The Big 12 average for opponents on unguarded catch and shoots is 35%. And West Virginia's opponents are shooting 54. What did I say, 54?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The average is 35. West Virginia's are shooting 34. So the moral of the story in all those numbers and saying unguarded 100 times is there's some regression coming up.
Yeah.
There's some opponents that are due to miss some shots. This Ohio State game would be a nice game for that to start.
Oh,
Bruce Thornton missing some open
yes.
shots. This would be a nice game for those numbers to start to come a little bit more in line because that just isn't going to happen for an entire season. Those are wild gaps in what has happened versus what should be happening based on how open. So West Virginia's 3-point defense looks like it's not very good, and statistically it's not, but maybe there's some underlying reasons for that. That really surprised me.
Well, the significant numbers to me is West Virginia is 12th best in the country in not allowing open 3-point shots.
Fewest open threes per game. It's about 5.
So they're guarding, but when in the rare opportunity where they're left open, it's statistically way out of bounds of what it should be.
So again, bottom 100 in opponent field goal percentage from 3. Listen to these. I'll give you one more set here. There's only 4 teams that have shot better than 34% from 3 against West Virginia. Only 4 of the 11 are better than 34%, which isn't very much. 6 have shot less than 33%. 3 have shot less than 21%. 1 shot 65%. So some numbers are kind of getting thrown off by a couple of performances that probably don't continue over the course of the season.
Brad, those are fascinating numbers, and they give you hope because, as you say, there's got to be some regression to the mean. That's not going to be sustained.
That's wild.
It's not going to be sustained. And, you look at a guy like Juke. I mean, Juke Harris is a pro, and he knocked down shots, right? Yeah. So can you
knock down every shot?
Yeah, every shot. So is Thornton going to do that, or can you, as you say, does he cool off a little bit? But you're right. That is a really good deep dive to better understand what's going on there.
So it's one of those things coaches would tell you, we just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep playing the way we're playing, and that balances out. The other number that surprised me out of all of those, that Big 12 opponents are only 35% on average from three-point land when they're open. And West Virginia's are 20% better than that.
It tells you that three-point defense is not a problem, despite what the statistics say.
Yeah,
right?
That's what I was trying to figure out, was because we're watching every single play. I watch practice almost every day, and I kept thinking, how can West Virginia be a bottom 100 team in three-point defense? Now, there is a school of thought. There are some people that believe opponent three-point percentage against you has a lot to do with opponent and luck, even more so than your defense. That there's so much variance in that shot, kind of like turnover luck in football. Can you cause turnovers? Sure you can. But a lot of turnovers, the way the ball bounces, there's a luck variable involved in that. There's a lot of basketball people that think the three-point shot has something to do with that.
So follow up. Here's an assignment. You see Coach Hodge all the time, and I'm sure he knows those stats. But follow up with him and see what he says about those numbers.
Oh, he knows.
I know, but see what he says about them.
Yeah. Oh, he's deep. He's deep into the numbers.
Brad, that's fascinating. Good work.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that in pregame the other day with him.
Yeah.
Before we went on air. Okay, so that's that. Just thanks for indulging that. I just found that
it's really good.
That was an unexpected offshoot. I didn't mean to get all the way down that rabbit hole, but I was trying to find an answer to that, and it was fascinating to me how much that's different than the rest of the league right now.
Yeah, that's really good stuff.
That should come back into line here.
What about Ohio State?
Yeah, you said the first part of it that I think is the headline story of this. This is kind of like Wake was. There's a battle of styles going on here. Ohio State wants to get their shots up quickly and score, get up and down like Wake did. Ohio State, only 14% of their field goal attempts come in the final 10 seconds of the shot clock. That's right in line with where Wake Forest was. Wake Forest was like 13% of its shots. So the critical nature here is whose style can win this game. West Virginia's going to want to slow it and take some time off the clock. West Virginia's opponents are taking 29% of their shots in the final 10 seconds of the clock. So that's 14% of Ohio State shots, 29% of West Virginia's opponents. So how close can you get to your average and make them play a way in which they do not want to play? Ohio State comes in top 5 nationally, points per possession in transition. So West Virginia's going to have to get back and guard and be ready for them coming at you in a hurry. We mentioned West Virginia's field goal defense, top 5 in 2-point field goal percentage defense. They're getting an Ohio State team that is number 3 nationally in 2-point field goal percentage. So you talk about great on great, that's it. 57% is what Ohio State shot from 2-point range against Illinois on Tuesday. So
Thanks.
West Virginia's defense here is going to be put to a real test. They're getting the number 8 team in the country in effective field goal percentage, which counts in your 3-pointers. Against a West Virginia defense, it's top 50 in that category. So again, styles make fights, and this one is offense versus defense in this game. Ohio State gives up an average of 9 unguarded catch-and-shoot jumpers per game. 9. Opponents are shooting just 30% on those shots. So if you talk about some regression going the other way, is Ohio State due to leave West Virginia open some, and West Virginia makes more than 30% of its open threes? So can Honor and Trey in particular shake loose? West Virginia gets an average of unguarded shots per game at 8 unguarded catch and shoots, and they make 34% of them. So I mentioned Honor's not getting many, averages about 1.5 per game. Is this one, can you shake him loose? What does Ohio State do from a defensive perspective? If they lock him down, can Trayson continue to be hot? I think the story here outside of slowing down Ohio State's offense is going to be West Virginia's offense, and where do you find your points? And that's going to be a question we ask a lot, right? It's easy to find them when Honor and Trey are hitting shots. Where else can you find them? Because here's an Ohio State defense that is number 29 nationally against the three-pointer. So again, does that start to change a little bit here? They're probably due for some regression. They were 11th prior to Illinois. Illinois hit a few against them, so they were top 15 here until recently. They're top 70 nationally in opponent free throw attempt rate, so they don't put you on the line very often either. So they're not giving up a great three-point percentage, and they don't put you on the line. They were 32nd nationally in that category until I mentioned Illinois got to the line 32 times against them the other night. They're top 50 in defensive rebound percentage. So teams are not shooting threes, they're not getting to the line, and they're not getting offensive rebounds. You're closing off a lot of the offensive angles there. So something's got to give in this game. It's got to be a little bit different. And then you go to what would be the fourth way to score, points off turnovers. These teams are about dead even on the season for the points off turnovers that they generate. Both are in the top 20 percentile nationally, so that'll obviously be an important category. If you can turn them over and score off it, then that's a double hit, Hop, right? You're finding a way to get points, and you've slowed down their offense a little bit. So keep an eye on that particular part of it.
They're shooting the hell out of it from the foul line, 77% at the foul line. Opposing teams are shooting 72. West Virginia has struggled at the foul line. The other night you said they went 29 to 32.
Yeah.
Illinois did. How'd they win the game? They won the game at the foul line.
Yes.
So here you go. I've been saying it all season long. This is going to cost you if you don't make your free throws. You're on the clock.
Ohio State's opponents are only shooting 16% from three in the final 10 seconds of the shot clock. We know West Virginia likes to take the ball down. West Virginia shooting 31% from three in the final 10 seconds of the clock. So I do think that's something important to watch. If that number skews closer to a West Virginia average, you'd like to be even better than 31%. West Virginia likes to take that clock down. If it's converting in the last 10 seconds of the shot clock, that's probably a good sign for the Mountaineers because normal teams don't do that against Ohio State. Can West Virginia change that formula this week? You mentioned Bruce Thornton already. He's fantastic. He has an offensive rating, guys, that's number 5 nationally. So that's out of 2,326 players that are charted in college basketball. He's number 5 in offensive rating. That's how good he's been playing or how well he's been playing. He's 14th nationally in three-point field goal percentage. We say Honor and Trey are starting to light it up. This dude's lighting it up. He's over 50% from three.
55?
Yeah. 50, almost 56 if you round up.
That number was boosted by his performance in the first half against Illinois. We made everything.
That's a hell of a season for him. 56 from three from a guy that shoots it a lot. He's also nearly 3-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. Ohio State is 30 more points per 100 possessions when he's on the floor. That difference, it's called on-off rating. His on-off rating is in the 99th percentile nationally. So if you want individual matchups, Thornton against Jasper Floyd, that's going to be a good one because you're talking about a guy that's in the top 1% offensively against a guy that's in the 100th percentile in defensive win shares in Jasper Floyd. So that's going to be a mano battle with Thornton against Jasper Floyd.
You think that's why they keep him on the floor for 35 minutes a game?
He has to because they're just a totally different team when he's on the floor.
Need 2 fouls on him.
So against us 2 years ago in Cleveland, he had a really solid game. 11 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. So he did a little bit of everything, certainly a couple years younger then, but he fouled out in that game as well. Something else to keep in mind, outside of him, the rest of the team shot just 34% against Illinois. And they were right in that game.
Say that again?
The rest of the team, other than Thornton, shot 34% from the floor. So is he an important part of that? So West Virginia's ability to slow him if possible, no one's really done it well yet. Can Jasper and company, because it won't just be Jasper on him, but can West Virginia slow him down a little bit?
Good report.
He was on it. He was hot today.
He was hot today.
You brought it, man.
Yeah,
like
you
put all your marbles out there.
A+ performance.
Yeah.
Give me one, 2 other things. I'm not done.
Extra credit.
Keep an eye when they go to the bench. When they bring their guys in, their most used lineup has played significantly more than when the next 2 subs come in. But here's what you watch. Their defensive rating plummets when they go to the bench for the first time. So when I'm asking, can West Virginia find a way to score points, that second group of West Virginia that comes in, they're going to have to find a way to score points. Can Chance Moore get to the basket? Whichever shooter is left between Huff and Eaglestaff, can one of them get going? But that will be an opportunity to try and make some hay when that second group, when Cups and Bynum come in for Ohio State. Can you take advantage of that and go after it? Keep an eye on the pick and roll. The pick and roll specifically.
Old school pick and roll?
Thornton is 7th nationally in points per possession off the pick and roll. He scores nearly 70% of the time when they run a pick and roll with him.
Whew.
But they're getting a West Virginia defense that is top 3 nationally in points per possession against the pick and roll ball handler. Wake and Campbell are the only 2 teams to get double figures from that set against West Virginia. I'll close with that. I gave you a lot of numbers today.
Man, that was...
Watch pick and roll, Hoppy, with Thornton in particular.
Absolutely. Just another way to get Thornton involved.
Spreads on Stats brought to us by the Conley CPA Group. 3 Guys also brought to us by Jan Dill's Attorneys at Law. With clients in all 50 states, they are there to help you. VA benefits and military disability claims, they're there for you. Do you have something to add to this, sir?
No, I was just going to say, you mentioned the pick and roll.
Jan Dill's Attorneys at Law, military benefits. Wait. Did you get a D in conduct when you were in elementary school for interrupting?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
True story. 2 weeks ago, I was in my basement trying to find a picture.
Yeah.
I literally found report cards when I was in 2nd and 3rd and 4th grade.
Ask him what his conduct grades were.
Yeah, what were they?
Bad.
Really?
Shock.
Yeah.
Shock. You're not surprised by that.
Bad.
That's the least surprising thing ever said on this show.
I literally, I giggled. I was giggling. Like, it said conduct, like C minus. And then they have all those other categories. Yeah. Interrupts. Doesn't play well with others.
I interrupt.
Course was charted early.
It was. Yeah. You know, the arc starts to bend.
Yeah.
It just continues.
It just, yeah. I did not find the 1st grade report card when I got the D in art.
Well, that's all right.
How do you get a D? You're finger painting. How do you get a D?
I don't know how I did it, but I got the D in art. Anyway.
How do you get a D in art in the 1st grade?
So Maddie's art skills all came from Joan.
Yeah,
not
really.
him.
Not
Yeah, trust me. Jan Dill's Attorneys at Law. If you need help, someone in your family needs help, someone that you know, in filing military benefits and Social Security claims, they are there for you because that's what they specialize in. Sure, they do all the personal injury stuff as well, and they're there for you for that. But military benefits, Social Security claims, if you or someone that you know needs help, contact them early because, speaking of spreads on stats, over 80% of people get a no-go when they try to do it themselves through the first time. So it doesn't cost you a penny until they get a claim for you. Contact Jan Dill's Attorneys at Law. I need to bring those report cards in.
You should. I'd like to see them.
Well.
I'm sorry.
I think I've been mischaracterized as a student. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm sure that through all the grades you were treated unfairly.
Yeah, sounds pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
No, you were saying.
Well, no, I got, how I go down these rabbit holes and things. Weird things fascinate me. You were talking about, Brad, about the pick and roll, which is what remains integral to basketball at all levels, right? And in sports, usually things change over time. The pick and roll's been around for over 100 years, and people are still running it.
Well, why? Well, because it's a screen, and it's always going to work.
But it's just interesting. Look at other sports. You go, we don't do that anymore. We don't run and the pick and since the 1920s,
still around. Maybe more popular than ever. Everybody runs those high ball screens, right? How often do you hear high ball screen?
High ball screen coverage. Coaches do not sleep at night. All they ever talk about is high ball screen coverage. And it didn't used to be all high ball screen coverage. The game has changed. And these coaches, they're trying to figure out, they talk incessantly among one another, coaches all over the country. How you guys guarding high ball screen? I'm serious.
Well, but the reason
is almost
every offense initiates with a high ball screen. You come across half court, and that screen at the top of the arc, top of the three-point line, is where the offense starts. And someone comes from down low and sprints up and sets a screen. So the very first thing your defense faces almost every night is a high ball screen. Are you going to hard hedge it? You're going to double it? You're going to trap? You're going to force? You're going to push? So if you don't have an answer to that, you're screwed right away in the very first 5 seconds of your possession.
You know how you cover it? Get great players. When they hedge it, it just looks a little bit different.
So supposedly, a guy named Nat Holman was the first to actually write down the ball screen, which they just called the screen, which he had the idea of like, go block that guy, stand in front of that guy.
Yeah.
So it started out, before it was pick and roll, it was just the ball screen, which they still call it a ball screen.
Yeah.
Incredible. Isn't that great?
Well, you go back and watch old basketball, look how much space defensive players gave to offensive players. It's like
really?
from me to Brad away, from you to Brad away. They were out there. Now everything is pressed up into your hip to hip.
But also before you tried to get as close to the basket as you could to shoot the shot, right? That game has changed, so now you can't give space on the perimeter. I mean, how many times a game does Ross say, "Get up in him"?
Yeah.
Really?
Get up in him. Yeah. You
have to. It impedes the offensive player, and it also hinders their passing ability.
It was when we were in Charleston, South Carolina, watching those games up close. It is different. Even if you're sitting
100%
midway up,
the physicality is jarring.
The physicality and the
size,
the physicality, and the fact that you don't. If you're playing a good team, you don't get a lot of room, man.
No.
I mean, every pass, every movement is just somebody's in your grill.
And grabbing and holding and hitting and forearm shivering and grabbing you on a shot. It is ungodly physical.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that applies in every sport. You ever stood down on the sideline during a football game? It's a car accident every single play, and you have no idea when you're sitting up. I think the same thing, soccer. You watch college men's soccer. Go over there and get close to the field and watch those guys. The physicality, you just do not pick it up if you're watching it on television.
I do think a difference is, though, football, is a physical sport. There's supposed to be contact. Basketball is really not designed to be as physical as what it is today. But that's not how it was or how it was played for decades.
Agreed.
There is way more grabbing and clutching than there's ever been.
Yeah, I agree. But in football, while you do know that they're tackling each other, you have no true perception of how fast and how hard the contact is.
Yes,
you just don't get it.
And the speed, the closer you get to the field, the speed increases.
It's breathtaking.
Yeah, you watch and say, "Why didn't he tackle that guy?" Well, because he was going impossibly fast.
Let's do this. Music to your ears. 3 guys before the game. This is Textual Healing, and it's sponsored by episode800.com. We're recording on 11 December, Thursday. Here's your notes for Christmas gifts. For Christmas gifts, you must have your order in by Sunday the 14th if you want the gift in your hand by the time Santa comes to your abode.
That's like just a couple days from now.
It's Sunday. Yeah, we're recording on Thursday. You have to have it in by 14 December, and there are some of the lovely items that we have available to you, from our T-shirts to our coffee to our popcorn. And also, I want to correct one thing. I received 3 texts on the text line. People want to know what the size of the coal hymn, I think they're calling this the coal hymn. People wanted to know how big this was. And
okay.
Yeah, there you go. So how neat that. See, this is art. You know why this is art? Because when the light changes, this changes. Yeah. So when you paint. Anyway, so I wanted to stand up. This is how big it is.
I'd say that's 24 by 36 maybe.
Like, that's how big it is. I'm 6'4", so figure it out. There you go. So as I said, these are gone for Christmas, but there are 15 more that are being made that will ship by February 1st. You'll have them by February 1st.
Also, did I hear, this is a nice new development, did I hear there are gift cards now on episode800.com? You can go on and order 3 Guys Merchandise gift cards. If you don't know exactly what size or what somebody would like, you can get them a gift card for the store.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Really good idea.
Did Homeless come up with that?
Well, of course.
Yeah. You know, he was at the game. There was a guy named DeBansa who was playing for BYU.
Who?
He was at the game.
Homeless was. He was excited to be there.
Yeah. Texter writes in, I just watched episode 681 and Brad doing the numbers. My first observation may not be obvious, but it sure seems to me that layups are missed more than made. Every time it happens, Huggs' voice pops into my head saying something like 2 feet from the basket, you ought to be able to put it in there. Are missed layups tracked, Brad? I'd be interested in Brad's take on that. Close-in shots?
Thanks for asking.
You have that?
West Virginia's shooting 65% on shots at the rim, so that's a little further out than 2 feet. I think this site tracks it maybe at 5, maybe a little less, but 65% from that distance.
What's that put them in nationally? Do you have a number on that? Turn your mic on.
Thanks for asking. National average is 62%.
And we're what?
65.
So we're better than the national average.
Yes.
No, that's not going to make this guy believe that. On another note about the cluster frog that is college sports, I think that we could blame lots of it of the overloaded presence of ESPN and all things. So I'm not rich. I can't afford fancy overpriced coffee from you guys, but I have to drink rat piss Folgers.
Why do you have to say that?
Well, he wrote it. He said I have to drink rat piss Folgers. I also can't afford ESPN Plus.
Oh,
lucky for me, Ren hasn't figured out how to monetize a radio stream, so I get to listen to Tony and Brad, who paint pictures in my head, right up there with Bob Prince and Jack Fleming. Thank you very much.
That was nice.
I'd pay $100 straight to WVU if I could watch all the basketball and football games on TV and sync the video up with the audio of Tony and Brad. The author, Corey Doctorow, has come up with a word to describe the state of TV, streaming, computer software, and phone apps, customer service, and just about every interaction normal folks have with big money these days. It is encrapification. Since you're a family show, you may want to use that word, but I think it perfectly describes the landscape these days.
By the way, I don't need to watch. I just listen to you guys.
Thank you, Hoppy.
Thank you. That was very nice, that text.
Appreciate
Thank you.
That's his say. He says, Bob, he signed it off, Bob, temporarily living in Ohio for almost 50 years, but really I'm from Fairmont.
I listen to you guys because it's descriptive and also highly entertaining. Because I know that a couple times during the game there'll be some zingers in there that I enjoy hearing.
We had the over-under going the other night on whether or not they would ever come to the monitor for a review. Those guys just wanted to go home. They just they weren't coming to that replay monitor. It's like, let's go, let's get it going. Brock from Midlothian, Virginia. What's up, fellers? Disappointed to hear Jaheim White is in the transfer portal. I guess he saw what C.J. Donaldson did and decided to follow suit. Would love to hear Brad share some of the stats on contributing players who left West Virginia the last 3 to 5 years and how they fared in their new schools. Got to be honest, hoping they did not succeed after quitting on the gold and blue. Also, wouldn't it be a good thing for the Big 12 to go after Notre Dame? Well,
that ain't going to happen.
That commissioner kind of took care of that.
Yormark's comments directly at the...
Let me say two things.
You don't see that very often. You don't see that very often.
I got two things. Go ahead. You go with your two things. I got two things.
Yormark always has some kind of a plan. Bavacqua must have pissed him off royally in the past in different worlds because he just attacked him. And to your point, Brad, commissioners don't do that.
I'm not seeing that.
So he must have had a little something for the Notre Dame AD. Also, a couple people come up to me about
might be just trying to completely merge with the ACC, so he wanted to curry some favor with Jim Phillips there and put Notre Dame.
Jim,
on
I'm with you.
Jim, I'm with you.
Yeah.
By the way, how about a merger?
Yeah.
It's me saying that, Hop. No scuttlebutt about that. That was me. Yeah. Full disclaimer.
A gentleman said, I'm disappointed to hear Jaheim White in the transfer portal. Guess what he saw what C.J. Donaldson did and decided to follow suit. And I had a guy I talked to at the Coliseum the other day who also asked me about Jaheim White leaving, and he was kind of like taken back. Again, new world. And so prices are being paid based upon where the staff thinks productivity will be. And some of these guys that are leaving because they're getting less than they were getting or less than they expected. And West Virginia at that point says, fine, see you later. because there is a specific budget that they're operating on. So it's not when a player leaves that the player is just saying, oh, I'm leaving. It's because the number that they're getting is not the number that they want, and these are the decisions that are being made.
Yeah, Tony, to build on that, what has Rich Rodriguez said whenever he's talked about the new class? He said, and some difficult decisions have to be made. And you know, I get, my friends will text me and say, oh, this guy's leaving, that guy's leaving, oh, NIL, all this, all that. And I'm with you. I think a lot of these are coaches making decisions about, okay, we got to cull this thing. We got a budget and we got to cull the roster.
And
so,
after being here for a year, being here for a year and having the guys here for a year, they know if the player that they're dealing with is what they want. Does that player show up on time? Is he always prompt? Is he at meetings? Is he doing the things that he's supposed to be doing? And if the answers to those are no, then if they're fixable, like Rich would say, then they might get a lower number. If they're not fixable, then they just get the pass. See you later.
I think you might also say, we will help you achieve what you like to achieve someplace else. On the Notre Dame thing, and I may be reading too much into this, everybody wants to play Notre Dame, but when given an opportunity, but the same ADs and conference commissioners don't like Notre Dame. And I think when they get an opportunity, like your Mark did, to pile on, they do, because nobody else that's not Notre Dame likes Notre Dame, except if they want to play them. You with me on that?
Yeah, but usually you don't see a direct personal attack on a leader at the other place.
He called it egregious behavior.
Yeah.
Egregious. Devin and Goshen. Hello, Tony, Brad, and Ace Ventura. If WVU loses the game to Ohio State, how many league games do you think they would have to win to make the tournament? Am I crazy to think it'd have to be 11 or more? Thanks for the discussion. Look forward to hearing your take.
I don't know, Devin. We'll have to see. Heck, you got to 10 last year and got absolutely screwed. Now, it's 10 league wins out of 20 games. Normally, 500 in this league gets you in. So if you have 18 games this year, you probably need an extra one because of that Clemson game. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. Just get Ohio State. That'd be a nice non-conference win.
Ohio State will help.
Be a good one.
Did Notre Dame not use its scheduling of ACC teams as the bait to gain entry into the league for their other teams? Would they share their college football playoff money if they were picked? No, they don't. What do you think the ramifications will be with Utah venturing into private equity? Also, do the three of you see or have you heard of anything that WVU may have in the works for the future? I think that specific private equity for WVU, I mean, they've heard pitches and things like that. Ren has talked about it more so when the league was approached. The conference was approached as an entire entity. There are some thoughts out there that what Utah just did may be illegal, involving a state institution.
What? So there's rules now governing that
they would have to do. So I think at some point in time, something like that will happen. I don't think West Virginia's got anything on the immediate side on that. Hello, three guys. Tyler, Mineral County. Great to meet Senator at the hotel in Charleston. I have a question for Tony. I had to get up and go to the bathroom Saturday morning, and I looked out of my room window, and I could have sworn that I saw Tony standing on the balcony in his suit at 2:30 a.m. talking to some young kids rolling a ball on the balcony. Did I have too much to drink, or was that you? Anyway, love the show. Keep it going.
I don't think that was you.
No. Number one, did not bring I guess I had a sport coat, but 9:30 was my cutoff time. Got to the bedroom, and that was that.
Yeah.
9:30. No, 2:30, no.
Somebody's having nightmares.
Yeah. He did have too much to drink, obviously. Gentlemen, while of course I respect the right of the Marriott family and corporate brand to dictate the preferred pronunciation of their name, we simply cannot allow them to gaslight us into believing that this was always how they wanted it to be pronounced. See the link below. AC from Logan. He sent a video. Turn your microphone on.
I don't disagree, Logan. I've said 50 years on Earth, I've never heard it Marriott, but
neither.
I have to default to President Benson, who's known the family going back generations, Hoppy.
Yes.
And he clearly said it Marriott, clearly said that's how the family's always said it. Said it's been mispronounced for a long time. Family knew it was mispronounced. Crazy.
I'm going Marriott from now on.
You're going Marriott?
Mm-hmm. And I tell you what, they should start a whole campaign. Had this little creative idea. So how do you get people to learn how to say it? Well, it's like a marriage. Yeah. So what are you going to do? You're going to marry it. So I would do a whole campaign of like little fall weddings, like, what are you going to do? Well, marry it. Marry it. Just keep banging. Marry it. Marry it. It'll change it over time.
You're an idea guy.
Yeah. Thanks. Since Jack Rollins came up on the previous episode, here's a mural in the heart of downtown Kaiser's Metroplex. Look at that, Hoppy.
Yeah.
Salute to Walter E. Jack Rollins, who wrote Frosty the Snowman, Smokey the Bear, Peter Cottontail.
Easter Bunny in there?
Mm-hmm. Peter Cottontail, of course, one of the great bunnies of all time.
No, Peter Cotton, that's a... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, guys, Travis here. WV alum, now live in Akron, Ohio. I'm originally from Pinch, West Virginia. I am, and also the little-known original conceiver of the Hoppy IPA beer concept. This was the guy that said, you guys are sitting on a beer right now. It should be Hoppy. Yeah, he's the guy. As previously sent in the tweet to the show, still waiting on my royalties. Yeah, so are we.
Well, so are we. So thanks for
the basketball team hopefully starting to mesh and play better basketball. Shooting looked much improved against Little Rock. I feel like those Charleston Civic Center rims are always so loose and difficult for us to get field goals dropped. Yeah, that's what it is. It's loose rims. But I think turnovers is what killed us against Wake. Rebounding seems to be a deciding metric in our wins and losses. Ohio State has a positive rebound margin. That'll be a key. My wife and I will be up in Cleveland this weekend, sitting right behind the Mountaineer bench for the Cleveland Hoop Showdown. We'll try to say hello.
Did you see the BYU Clemson game had to be stopped for 17 minutes because a dunk bent the rim?
Saw that. How about that?
Saw that.
Also, speaking of the Charleston Civic Center, randomly browsing the West Virginia Metro News app the other day on my Apple TV, trying to find Herbert Hoover football state tourney game a few weeks ago. Great catalog of West Virginia high school games on there, both live and on demand. I stumbled upon a playlist for classic games, high school home videos, and watched a classic from the year 2000. The production and broadcast, fantastic. I was really impressed. I have to say the guys that had hosting the broadcast and calling the game were so youthful and full of energy. See, baby Hoppy? Look at that Hoppy with hair.
Oh, my gosh.
Hell. Look at old Hoppy there.
Once again, sport coat too big.
Yeah, well, that was before we met fine-looking Phil. And then
Phil takes care of that now.
Boy, you know what? I tell my wife all the time, because we've been married 23 years. Second marriage for me, first for her. And say
first for her.
I say, I'm sorry you missed my good years. Yeah. You know?
I knew him, Karen. Didn't miss much. Do we have a... Oh, there, look at baby...
Oh, my goodness.
Why do I have a rug on my head? Look at that hair, dude.
No, the hair looks about the same.
Oh, that hair's full there, man. Thicker than hell.
Your jacket's too big, too.
Oh, yeah. Look, it's a double-breasted.
I mean, that was the style back then. Whether we did go through the baggy era, but now it's much better. Phil takes care of that just since that. And that's why he walks around with the tape and the pins in his sleeve.
I've been threatening to go there now for 4 months. I need to go there. I got to go there badly.
I was over there yesterday.
Were you?
I was giddy because he's over across the counter and he's talking to me. And while he's talking to me, just like while we're talking, he's putting pins into
the sport cut.
Into the sport cut. So he's just going like that. We're not even thinking about it. Just
size you up.
Yeah.
By the way,
speaking of Christmas, better hurry there.
You got to go?
No, well, we do. Yeah, we got to get out too. But you better get over to Phil's there. Some great Christmas items just put out. He just put out some new stuff.
He's got
he
super
put out
nice.
2 new West Virginia vests that are awesome.
I saw that. I know exactly. To the left.
Legend ones?
Yes.
Plus
got a barn jacket look to them, feel.
What
you know which ones I mean? Yeah.
Did you just make a barn jacket reference?
Yeah.
Horn Legend brand.
Old school.
Yeah, barn jacket.
Got a nice shacket in there, too. West Virginia shacket.
What is that?
It's a shacket, shirt, jacket. It's a shirt worn on over another shirt, shacket.
Oh, that's what that's called?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Eric in Mineral County with our last...
Doesn't surprise you, does it, that I didn't know that?
Last one. Hey, 2 guys, Captain Obvious. With all the team opt-outs of bowl games, if a team loses 3 games during the reg season, in theory, why not just quit the season? If the money, teams, and players only care about the playoffs when you are theoretically out for the season, what's the solution? My thoughts, expanded playoff format where bowl games become part of the expansion. What are your thoughts?
I don't want to don't expand the playoffs anymore. I mean,
oh yeah, expand.
They're going to expand.
No, don't expand.
Whatever
anymore.
keeps more games. If we're going to have to lose bowl games on the back end, then keep them in the playoffs.
Well, don't lose bowl games.
However
I mean,
you have to keep
don't
it.
expand the playoffs.
Well, the calendar's got to get fixed then because it's hard.
It is hard.
There's so much focus on moving on to the next season. It is hard to keep your team together for 2.5, 3 weeks to play in a bowl game. So you got to fix the calendar there.
Could you have the bowl games like the next week or 2 weeks?
You're going to have to. You're going to have to start moving them up and trying to keep them if you keep them that way.
What's really interesting is the evolution of the bowls. 10 years ago, if a player opted out of a bowl game, it was massive story. People were just then you had hundreds of guys saying I'm not playing, and now you're getting teams going, guess what? We're not playing either. So yeah, it needs to be fixed.
10 teams opted out of bowl games this year. This included some 5 and 7 teams that would have had the opportunity. 5 of those were Big 12 programs.
Yeah,
pretty wild.
5? Big
5 of the 10.
Because there were two 5 and 7s. Well, 2 5 and 7s, right?
Correct.
2 5 and 7 said no, thank you. You remember Ben Lowman, who you referred to earlier in the show? Yeah. When Ben was a little baby, and I would mess with him, I'd say, "Hey Ben, let's go do this." Just pretending we're going to do something. He would always go, "No, thank you. No, thank you." That's what these teams are doing. They're going, "No, thank you."
Hey, before we forget, don't we need to thank somebody for you showed up the other day?
Yeah, we've already forgotten. He forgot that.
Half a side of beef.
Yeah, we have to get that next time.
Get it next time?
No, we're going to do it.
You got it?
Yeah, we're going to do it right now. Hey, by the way.
Speaking of thanking, December 14th is the Christmas cutoff for episode800.com. You got to have your orders in by this weekend?
Yes.
In order to get here in time for Christmas?
Yes.
Okay.
Two things here before we go away.
Yeah.
The gentleman that brought us this unbelievable beef,
gosh.
Nathaniel Mason, who's the owner of the Foggy Dale Farms in Ellenboro, West Virginia.
Thank you.
Which is Ritchie County. And he brought us 5 different types of meat cuts.
Big bag of meat.
That we're very much looking forward to. So thank you very, very much
thank you.
to Nathaniel Mason. I met him. Good dude. He has over 1,000 head of cattle.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Big operation.
Probably has mineral rights.
Now here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. And the last episode, we were talking about people coming up to us while we're on the air at basketball games.
Yes.
And whether or not we're on the air, they give you the bump. They want to talk. Brad literally got kissed while he was while he was on the air in our last game. Lady came up, didn't realize, quote, that he was on the air. She knows him for years. And I'm not going to say because I don't want to. And she came over and just gave him a peck while he was on there. I said, first guy ever been kissed on MSN.
That's fine. Just kept talking.
How about that?
Now, here's the deal.
Just keep talking.
So in the last episode, I said, where is the security guard?
Yes.
Where's the security guard? Where's
just
Doug, the security guard? So can you bring this picture up here, Jake? There he is. So there's Doug.
Oh, yeah.
And he came after us. I mean, he was like, what are you guys doing? Like, selling out. And so last game, Hoppy, it's about 8 minutes to go. This is where you come into play here. Doug's a good one. Doug's been around a long time.
Doug's awesome.
Yeah. So I get a tap while I'm on the air. Okay. It's your boy.
Who?
Ed Harper. Hey, Creedy, what are you doing?
What are you doing there, Tony? Harper here.
And so he bangs me, and I look over and give Harper the wave. Then I look back, and Doug is standing right there.
So Harper broke through security?
Yeah, Doug probably should have taken him down on the knees. Don't you think? Just kind of give rip tackle and just brought him down, secured him?
No, I think Doug should have been somewhere else providing security for areas that need it. Not prima donna here, who can't be looked at directly in the eye when he's in his broadcast location.
I expect Harper saw West Virginia's up by 40 and go, I'm going to get out of here with the beat the traffic.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah. Harper was pulling out going, I've seen enough of it.
Let me stress again how great Doug is and wonderful. I was not the one that attacked him.
Hoppy, Doug would like to see you, though, if you could make it over there at some point.
Can I get a seat right behind you all?
No, it's unavailable, actually.
Unavailable.
No. We'll get you seats up there, but not right behind us.
All right, we got to go. We got to go to the studio.
All right.
They got the bazaar coming in here. We're doing bingo, live bingo out here in just a little bit. 3 guys brought to us by Gomart. Get a Gomart rewards card. Go to Gomart.com for details. Go in there. Spin, Marty spin up until December the 19th.
That's
spin,
triple rewards.
Marty,
Saturday
triple rewards, all kind of stuff. Get yourself a 500-pound Reese cup.
Big bag of M&Ms.
3 guys brought to us by Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com.
Longer days coming soon. It's almost boating season.
Good time to buy now.
That Honda Premier Marine dealership at Lou Wendell. Three Guys brought to us by Tudor's Biscuit World. Start your day the homemade way.
2 doors.
With a 2 doors biscuit. By Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. Business phone systems are just idyllic. By Jan Dill's Attorneys at Law, they won't take no for an answer. And by Conley CPA Group, providing value beyond numbers. Special thanks to producer Jake.
They're in need right now, too. Year-end coming, right? Year-end, so you got to get all your stuff
get your stuff ready for the tax people. We're back on this side Monday. We'll recap the Ohio State game and look ahead. Off week next week for the world champion Mountaineers.
Yeah. Finals.
That's a little odd.
It is odd, but it's a nice break.
Go get a win Saturday. Let's go.
All right. We be out. See you.